What if you could live forever? I don't mean as a ghost or a distant memory, but as you, long after your body is gone. This isn't just a sci-fi fantasy anymore. It's the very real, kind of mind-bending concept of digital immortality.
All right, just imagine this with me for a second. The years go by, your biological body has run its course, and time, well, it's taken its toll. And then it happens. The moment that's defined our existence for all of human history. Your heart stops beating. Biologically speaking, that's the end of the line.
But what if it wasn't? What if in that final moment, your consciousness, all your memories, yourself, what if it didn't just flicker out? What if you just kept going?
This wild idea has a name: digital immortality. It's the theory that we could capture the very essence of a person, their consciousness, and translate it into a digital format. That would free it from the limits of biology forever.
So, I know what you're thinking. How could something so out there ever be possible? Well, the entire theory is actually grounded in that incredibly complex organ sitting right between your ears. Let's dig into the science. To really get a handle on just how monumental this challenge is, let's start with a number: 86 billion. That's roughly how many neurons are firing away in your brain right now. Every single one is like a tiny computer, and together they create a network that is almost unimaginably complex.
Scientists have a pretty cool name for that incredible network: the connectome. You can think of it as the ultimate wiring diagram of you. It's this unique pattern of connections that, in theory, encodes everything that makes you, you. Your memories, your personality, every single thought you've ever had.
So, how on earth could you even hope to copy something like that? Well, while it's insanely difficult, the theory kind of boils down to 3 huge steps. First, you'd have to scan the entire brain at an unbelievably high resolution. Then, you'd need to map that connectome, all 86 billion neurons and their trillions of connections. And finally, you'd have to perfectly recreate that entire network inside a powerful computer simulation. No big deal, right?
Okay, I know this all sounds like it's centuries away, and maybe it is. But what's so fascinating is that the groundwork is already being laid. There are real-world projects pushing us in this direction right now.
I mean, on one hand, you've got research groups like the Blue Brain Project using these monster supercomputers to build super detailed digital simulations of small parts of the brain. And on the other hand, you've got companies like Neuralink developing the actual hardware, the brain-computer interfaces that could, one day, let us read and write information directly to our neurons. But let's be real about where we are. Today's tech can only read relatively small signals from the brain. The leap from that to capturing the entire, unbelievably intricate structure of a human mind is enormous. It's still the ultimate ambitious dream of this whole field. But okay, let's jump ahead. Let's just imagine the technology is perfected. We can do it. A perfect digital copy of your brain exists. This is where the technical problem ends, and a philosophical rabbit hole that's maybe even deeper begins. And here's the paradox. You've got the biological you, the original, which is destined to end. And then you've got the digital you, a perfect copy with all the same data. It might feel like you, act like you, and have all your memories. But is it really you? Is it actually conscious?
And that really gets to the heart of this whole thing. If your original biological self dies, have you achieved immortality? Or did you just create a digital twin, a perfect echo that will live on while you are gone forever? It's a debate with absolutely no easy answer.
Okay, let's put that identity crisis on a shelf for a second and just think about the ripple effects. If humanity could actually transcend biology, the world as we know it would be turned completely upside down. I mean, just imagine this future. People could live in custom-built virtual realities. But think bigger. All the knowledge and wisdom an individual accumulates could be preserved forever. What could a digital Albert Einstein discover if he could keep working? What art would the great masters create if they had centuries more?
Ultimately, whether digital immortality ever becomes reality or not, just chasing the idea forces us to look in the mirror and ask one of the most fundamental questions there is. It makes us really think about what consciousness and identity even are. What's that spark that truly makes us, well, us?
If this exploration got your own neurons firing, do me a favor and show some support by liking this explainer. It helps us tackle more of these big, brainy ideas.
But now I have to turn the biggest question over to you. Head down to the comments and let me know. If the technology was perfected, totally safe, would you upload your mind? I'm genuinely curious to read what you think.
And finally, if you want to keep exploring the biggest ideas that are shaping our future, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for joining the thought experiment.